What's up, old school metal enthusiasts, and welcome back to the channel. Traditional old school Brazilian black metal is the game we play today with Mystifier's Wicca LP, year of release 1994, label Hellion Records from Germany. Now, I had a chance to discuss this band in a previous episode when I sold their sophomore album Goetia, which was also released in 1994 by Osmos Productions, which means this is not technically the very first edition of Mystifier's debut album, because that title belongs to the version that Heavy Metal Records from Brazil put out in 1992. What happened was that the band, after a couple of successful demo tapes and one 7-inch EP, inked the deal with this Brazilian obscure underground label called Heavy Metal Records. What a brilliantly original name for a label. And they released their first LP. I think they pressed like 1,000 units, or maybe less than that. I'm not sure. And of course, when you are a Brazilian label and your name is not Cogumelo Records, chances are your distribution is incredibly poor, and that was the case with that one pressing, which went pretty much unnoticed to the European market. And as a result, 2 years later, Hellion Records from Germany decided to come up with their own version of the album, which I believe is also pressed in 1,000 units. Hellion Records, mind you, was one of my favorite mail orders back in the day. I mentioned this a couple of times in the past already. This release is pretty much impossible to distinguish from the very first pressing. They look absolutely identical. The only difference is that the Hellion Records logo is there, whereas on the first pressing you have the Heavy Metal Records logo. And how do I know that? Well, interestingly enough, because I own the copy of the very first pressing, and stupid me, I decided to sell it for close to nothing. Dear me. Well, that was a mistake I made like some 15 years ago. I think I sold it for like, I don't know, 20 to 25 euros. Buy it now on eBay. Some Australian dude bought it, and I guess he secured like the deal of a lifetime, because the first pressing nowadays goes for like 10 times, if not more, that amount. So if you do own very first pressing of the album, please be extremely careful. It's pricey. Don't sell it for nothing. Now, this version, it's technically flawless, great pressing quality, includes the lyrics sheet, which is the reason why I decided to keep this copy. The heavy metal records copy that I had did not include the lyrics sheet, and it was in slightly poorer conditions, but still, what a deal. And technically, yeah, musically speaking, this album is absolutely flawless, a solid 10 out of 10 album, a masterpiece, and might as well be my very favorite, next to Sarcophago's The Laws of the Scourge, might as well be my all-time favorite Brazilian metal release. The band was definitely on fire on this album, great songwriting, absolutely killer songs, plenty of killer hooks on this release. Their second album, Goetze, was also pretty cool. The third one, not so much anymore. And after that, the band kind of lost its magic touch. But this one album, absolutely killer. And it aged incredibly well, in my opinion. As opposed to those Cogumelo Records releases, which in my opinion didn't really stand the test of time that well. I know this will probably grant me a number of insults in the comments section, but that's just my honest opinion as usual. But yeah, this album is a flawless classic, so be sure to have it in your collection. If you can't go for the original copy or for this awesome Hellion Records pressing, my honest recommendation is to go for this beautiful double LP gatefold edition that Mutilation Records from Brazil again put out in 2002. It was limited to 1,000 copies, but fear not, it's still readily available on Discogs. Really beautiful pressing, includes the lyrics, some beautiful pictures from the band, as well as some covers, and really not all the necessary live tracks, but I mean, why not? At least you got a side full of songs instead of blank, which is a sad tradition of today's vinyl making. Bottom line, absolutely killer album. Try to secure yourself a copy. I myself will stick to this album in this incarnation. I sold the Hellion Records copy that you're now seeing. This one has been sold. The Heavy Metal Records one has been sold. I will stick to this one and to the CD pressing. Speaking of Mystifier, if you're into the band, I still have this their first 7 inches EP ever, the Evil Ascension Returns, year of release 1989, Maniac Records, in absolutely mint conditions. Signed by the man himself, whom I got a chance to know in the past. Sadly, not exactly an Albert Einstein, but Brazilian black metal and black metal, generally speaking, intelligence is not exactly a priority in this subgenre. So yeah, but at least the music is good. So no matter what the IQ of the person behind it, the music still slays, and that's what matters at the end of the day. So yeah, if you're looking for this EP, just feel free to get in touch. It's for sale. I don't remember exactly which price I set for it, but just feel free to get in touch with an interesting offer, and I will get back to you. That does it for this episode. I will be back online in a few hours, hopefully, because I sold a bunch of other LPs which deserve their own episode because they are ultimate classics in metal history. Because that's what you get on Old School Metal Vinyl. Metal classics in their original pressing. And just like that, till the next time, keep it loud and heavy.